this is the time to do it, and, just go for it. There's no perfect time. You just do it, take action, get feedback along the way, and learn lessons as you go.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Welcome to episode number 150 of the Thrive by Design podcast. Hey there, it's Tracy Matthews, your host today, and the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive Academy. I love being here, and I'm even extra special excited today because yesterday was my birthday. And you probably heard on episode 149 that I was giving away an amazing birthday gift, and you still have an opportunity to grab it, but you have to be fast action and grab it soon. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/Tracy's birthday rocks to grab your free gift. And it's a surprise. I'm not revealing it on the podcast. You have to go over there and see what it is for yourself. But it's definitely going to give you some great tools to build your online business. And I'm very, very excited about it and excited for you to actually get in on this amazingness. Well, today is no exception. We are going to have an awesome episode because you've probably heard over the last couple of years, or maybe not, that it's really important to build recurring revenue in your business. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with what recurring revenue means, it is subscription models, money that keeps coming in every single month that you don't have to pitch and focus and sell again. So it's like automated money coming in every single month. It's not that you don't have to deliver something, but it is a great way to kind of guarantee your income and know exactly what's coming in. This is a great benefit for you who are trying to, build your cash flow, build up your business, and create, financial security for yourself. So today I'm talking all about subscription boxes, in particular, how to build recurring revenue with jewelry subscription boxes with Michael Adams. Michael Adams is the designer behind Gourd Jewels. He is also a member of our SOS coaching program. And this episode is really fun. He's a super soulful guy. He just had a baby, and he's doing great stuff for women with his subscription box for a really important reason, which you're going to learn about in today's episode. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I'm excited to kind of walk you through Michael's journey for a variety of reasons. We're going to dive into that in just a moment. But before I do, I wanted to share a little bit more about our sponsor. Our sponsor today is Flourish and Thrive Live. Flourish and Thrive Live is our live event hosted here in New York City. It's being hosted September 26th and 27th in the greatest place ever, New York City, which I was going to say, but at a really amazing venue called Yotel. They have a great outdoor patio. We had our event there last year, and it was a huge blast. Flourish and Thrive Live is just an awesome opportunity for designers to connect with their peers, for you to meet influencers, to get really savvy on not only the business side of things for your business, but also to focus on, making those connections. Last year, we had a designer connect with the Uncommon Goods buyer, and she texted me earlier today and said that she was so busy. She promised to get back to coaching as soon as she was done filling these orders for Mother's Day. We had another designer who's been several other designers, I should say, who've been regularly featured by some of the PR influencers that we had at the event last year. So it really is like an opportunity for you to connect and make these important connections for your jewelry. In fact, that's what the entire event is about. Our theme this year is connection. We are bringing you some amazing sponsors, amazing speakers, amazing people, not only to host you in keynotes and to chit chat with you and teach you about the best ways, the newest things that are coming out in online strategy and digital marketing strategy, but to also, especially for your jewelry brand, I should say, but to also help you create connections and real relationships with people so you can build your business effortlessly and easily and be super excited about your jewelry business again. And if you listened to my episode last week, it was all about how to quit, how to know when it's time to quit or lean in. Today we're talking about leaning in and diving into subscription boxes. And this live event is really about helping you lean in and create those connections that are going to continue to help you build your business. All right. So I don't want to hold out on Michael anymore. Michael has a great brand. He is not only a coach, but he is the founder and designer of GourdJewels.com. He has a great business model that is based all around recurring revenue and having subscription boxes. He's working on different levels. He just did a launch even after this episode went live that went very, very well. And he has a lot of members, buying jewelry every single month with a message. And he's doing a great job at it. So he's going to walk you through the way that he set his subscription box up, how he's trying to diversify the offering. And he's going to be walking you through different ways and different ways to think about how you can do it for yourself. He's also offering you a really amazing resource at the end. So we'll have that linked in the show notes. So make sure that you grab that and download it for sure. All right, let's dive in. Today, I have a very special guest on the show. I am so excited to welcome Michael Adams. Michael, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Tracy. Excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you because you joined our SOS coaching program last year, and we launched, full force in January and kicked the year off with a bang. And I loved it because you started the program because you were working on building your subscription jewelry program out on your website. And it was just something so different and so unique that a lot of people have heard about or talked about. And so I really wanted to have you on the show because you shared some really amazing wins with us and some really fun things about how you're building recurring revenue in your business with a subscription jewelry box. So thanks for being here and sharing your story.
Thank you. I am beyond excited to be here, and SOS is going amazingly. You are doing a fantastic job, and the coaches are doing a really great job as well. So I'm just privileged and honored that I found the program when I did.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you're in it because you are just like such a bright light. And it's always so fun to have men in the program because, as a jewelry company, we have primarily women following us and a few like super awesome guys like you, Michael. And so it was like really fun to sort of hear your story. So your jewelry company is called Gourd Jewelry, and you can find Michael over at gourdjewelry.com.
Gourd Jewels.
Excuse me. I keep saying it wrong. gourdjewels.com. We will make sure that we make a note of that in the show notes. Gourd Jewels.
No problem.
And anyway, and you just had a baby girl.
Yes.
Yeah, you just had her. So you guys are like staying up all night.
Oh, yes. My wife luckily has some time off of work, but we're making it work. She's a beautiful joy that I'm just honored to have. And anytime I feel myself getting a little frustrated with lack of sleep and crying and everything, I just say, you have a baby girl. You have a baby girl. You have a baby girl.
Affirmations. Here we go.
Yes.
And her name's Lakeland. What's her middle name again?
Lakeland Omri Adams.
Oh, so pretty. Such a beautiful name. I love it. So I wanted to start like I do with most interviews. I want to just hear like a little bit more about your journey into jewelry and kind of how you evolved into this subscription box program.
Sure. Well, again, thank you, everyone. My name is Michael Adams, and I recently launched this jewelry subscription box back in 2017. And with the intention that I wanted to make this just a general subscription. I had this idea in mind for about a year and a half. I sat on it and finally went full force with it. But one of the big wins is that in a short 6 months, I've been able to generate over $20,000.
Wow.
From just this subscription box. And that's based off of anywhere from 40 to 60 customers. And so I think I'm at a point where it's just set to take off and grow my numbers. But I think that this is something that almost every jewelry designer could add into their business model just because it works so well. And so I'm excited to share a little bit more with that. I represent the Hopi Tewa people of Northern Arizona and was born and raised on the beautiful rural Hopi reservation landscape. My heritage for sure was strongly influenced by my jewelry making journey and provides me much inspiration to continue. For me, the Hopi culture is traditionally a matriarchal society where women are emphasized just with so much more value than the men, as they're pretty much the foundation for all ceremonial and cultural activity. So for me, it's necessary for the family unit to have strong matriarchs. And that's what kind of that's what bonds the family together, kind of holds family as priority in her life. And she feels a sense of pride in her role as mother and caretaker. For me, jewelry design, creating these symbols that reflect her heritage and identity are just these important visuals as they represent her style and they tell the world this is who I am and this is where I come from. For me, that's the person that I create for.
Oh, that is so awesome. I just got the chills because like you have such a, beautiful description of your dream client, right?
Yes.
And this is a great example of how you can really clearly identify who your dream client is and then design jewelry that's like specifically for her, which is awesome.
Thank you. Yes. So that represents my dream client that I've been really forming it over the years. And pretty much she's my wife.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh.
It started from being my mom, but, it evolved into being my wife. So I've been creating jewelry since 2012, just basically as a side hobby, attending several art shows a year. And I created my first piece of jewelry around 2010 as a gift for my wife. I was previously a painter and wood carver before that. And at this point in our life, Valentine's Day was coming around and I wanted to create something special for her. And I knew that she loved jewelry that reflected who she was as an Indigenous woman. And she also was looking for an alternative to silver jewelry as it, was getting a little bit heavy on her earlobes. She would complain here sometimes. And so I took a piece of a gourd, the squash gourd. And I was working with it as a medium at the time. And I took a piece, I cut and shaped two pieces exactly, painted, designed them, and gave it to her as a gift. And she loved them. Her friends started asking where she got the pieces of jewelry that she was wearing. And she fell in love with seeing them, how they looked on her. And then her friends started asking about her. And the rest was history from there. I kind of fell in love with being able to see my jewelry on women and knowing that the beauty and confidence it brought to them, being the wearer. So that was pretty much the journey that said, okay, I'm going to do jewelry now.
You're like, I'm doing this. I absolutely love that. It's such a beautiful story. But, you talked about that you had this idea that you were sitting on it for a few months to start or several months actually, to start the subscription box. Like, what was really the inspiration for that? And like the impetus behind it? Like what kind of got you over the edge to kind of start doing that? And how did you pull it off?
Gotcha. So I got the idea for the subscription box about 2 years ago. And I sat on the idea for a year and a half as I was in the final stages of my previous career as a school counselor in a high school. Mm-hmm. And as I started to dream about the type of life that I wanted for my family and myself, I realized I needed to work differently in my schedule. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to end my career in the school system in June 2017 and jump full into launching my idea and expanding my business. And one of the basic reasons I feel is that my daughter, Sarai, which is the oldest one, she's almost 2 now. And I'm thinking about a parent and I'm learning about my actions speak so much louder than my words. And so I started to think of the long-term fan and what I, as a father, wanted to represent to her. And I knew that one day I'd be telling her, follow your dreams.
Oh, so cute.
Follow your passion. I'm going to be telling her that one day. And so for me to not live that, I was like, I cannot do that. I have to step outside of my comfort zone and really take this on and really, show her what it means to follow your dream. And so I told my wife I was doing it, and fortunately we saved up a little so I could make the jump, make the leap. And I did it, and in August I ended in June, and come August, September is when I officially launched the subscription, knowing exactly how I wanted it planned out, and just said I'm going for it no matter what. And thankfully I was also doing a late start in Marie Forleo's program. And she was talking about, one of her questions was, what is the one thing you could do 10 years from now and look back and thank yourself that you did it? And one of her questions was worded like that. And I said, you know what, it would be that subscription. If I did not do that, I would kick myself in the butt so much. And so I'm going to do it. And so with the help of, just different things in my environment, I said, this is a time to do it, and, just go for it. There's no perfect time. You just do it, take action, get feedback along the way, and learn your lessons as you go.
I love it. So I didn't tell you this before the interview, but I was thinking about doing a subscription box about 10 years ago. My sister and I were playing around with the idea, like, how could we get people to have membership or join or, somehow create this recurring revenue every single month. One of the things that we really struggled with was figuring out how to actually structure it so it made sense. So how are you structuring your subscription box to make it exciting to your customers like every single month? And how often are you shipping new pieces? How are you providing something new each month to keep them engaged? And what have you found is sort of like that sweet price point that you can build upon?
Gotcha. So, I've been in this new area of my business, and I've been researching it, for that whole year and a half, just looking at different companies and how they were doing it and how I would incorporate into the jewelry realm. But one of the first questions I started asking myself, thinking about my dream client was, there have been so many return customers who I dealt with in my 6 years in business, just as the hobby level, who've been asking for something special. And so I started to ask myself, what could I do to give them that experience? How could I make the jewelry buying process an even better experience? How could I offer words of affirmation and empowerment, which is what I really like to do? How could I add that in somehow? How can I create a community around this idea, which something that I currently am shooting for? And what if I could design a single piece a month and deliver it as a subscription box? I would have a way to create consistent income and have more time with my family. I wouldn't be jumping from order to order to order, and I would get, to design what I wanted. And that basically was the foundation elements of it. It's like, okay, if I can put it into place, this is how I can make it happen. So how I launched it, we started launching the idea. I created just a piece that I thought, like, this is amazing. This is an amazing piece. And I shared it on my social media, which is my Facebook page. And that's usually how I draw a lot of traffic and attention. So I shared this piece, and I did a giveaway to my fans on there, and did a little contest. For me, contests are how I have been drawing attention and excitement to any new product or launch. So at the time, I would do the like, comment, share contest, and then just pick a random comment. So with this piece, I had a high interest, from, the people saying, "Ooh, I would love to buy. Where can I buy it? How can I buy it?" And I just like kind of counting up the numbers of people who were interested. And I said, this idea is going to work for this piece to launch the subscription box with. And so from that, I knew that there would at least be, 20 people who would jump on the idea just for that piece alone. So I said, okay, this is going to work. So I did around 1 to 2 weeks of social media posts just on Facebook only. I don't even know why I ignored my email list, but I actually did. I did. So it was just social media posts on Facebook. No ads were taken out. It was all just organic traffic. But I built curiosity and excitement for announcement. Okay, cool. I just wrote little posts of something's coming on this date and this time. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be really awesome. And I just built up that for about 1 to 2 weeks, and did a couple more giveaways of the piece. And so I had as I prepared for that particular day, I created a 9-minute video that basically explained my vision of the idea. I used iMovie and created a video of my story and my special announcement. Then as I prepared that, I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I created this video. It had, nice little transitions in the movie. It had little captions, and it was really nice.
Love it.
I'm going to get my phone, and I'm going to go live from my phone and then point it at my computer so that it can, and just play the movie on the computer. So I had this weird system kind of set up that day. I was on launch day, and I hit play. And I kind of stepped away for a minute. I was, super excited. Just that moment that you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And my wife was at the door, and I was telling her, "Be quiet, be quiet. The house needs to be quiet. There's something going on live." And she's like, "Okay." And so as I began to watch it, it was about maybe 9 minutes into it. I noticed that there was a bunch of comments coming out. "I can't hear it. I can't see anything. I can't."
Oh my gosh.
I was like, "Oh no." And it was just at that day that technology decided not to work for me. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Like, I worked so much on this video and everything." And so I said, you know what? The best
was it that they just didn't have the sound done, or was it something else?
It was an internet connection, I believe.
Oh no.
And so we were just, I don't know, something was going on that day. But what I decided to do is just take that portion that had on myself, which was just a talking head of me speaking about everything in the story, and just upload that. And so it's 9 minutes of me speaking on as a talking head, and I uploaded that, and I say, sorry, everyone, watch this one. And within a couple hours, I have 42 women sign up.
No way. That's amazing. You're like, why is it that you're like, why aren't people signing up? They're like, we can't hear you. That is so funny. That is so awesome. So you said you didn't even email your list. Have you ever used email to build a subscription now that you kind of have subscribers?
Yes. Well, I have my email list, being built and grown right now. And right now I'm actually a week from relaunching. And so I'm going to do a launch, which allows me to bump up my price. And I'll eventually end up at around $147 a month, which is the true number that I was shooting for.
Great.
And I'm going to, have people buy into different price points as I go through the launch. So we'll jump from 59 to 77 to 97, 117, and I'll just make those little jumps, and then I add in kind of scarcity and some just limited quantities along the way, so I can get people into the subscription along the way.
So on the top tier, like, what do they get as like a benefit of being in one of the upper tiers?
So far our boxes are designed like, there's so many things that I would do. I can share with everyone that I would do differently, and we'll get to that question. But for me, the boxes are designed. They're special custom engraved boxes that go out each month, and then there's also a custom design card explaining the design. There's the exclusive piece, an inspiration card connecting the design with the story, and then sometimes I'll add in a surprise gift. But my goal really is how can I wow them even more than I did last month? And
right.
How can I wow them more than I did last month. So it's constantly putting that pressure on myself to kind of do better every month. And so far, we've maybe had her up to 6. I did know other marketing after we got our 42 people. It was just word of mouth from my current clients that shot the number up to 60 some ladies. And right now, they're, I think we've maybe, there's a thing called churn rate in subscription boxes, which is the amount of people that drop off. And we've probably had it around 6 or 7. And so that's like a 10%, 10% churn rate. That's really low. And so I'm doing something good. So I just need to get better at getting my systems together.
Okay, that is awesome. So you have a goal. Like, what is your goal number that you're trying to get to eventually?
I have 802 by next February. So that would be a year in SOS, and
let's do it.
That's what I'm shooting for.
Okay, I love it. You're so amazing. So what are now I want to get to the lessons question, because whenever we're doing something, there's no way that we always make mistakes. And I think the difference between successful people and those that really struggle are that the successful people just keep trying and they learn from their mistakes and they keep moving forward and they don't let the mistakes kind of get them down. But, we got to take it as a lesson. So what are some of the mistakes that you made and what would you have done differently?
Yeah, I would actually, for our jewelry people out there listening who are very interested in utilizing this model, what I would do differently is gauge interest in your subscription idea from your community and see if it's something that your audience would love. And for most of them, for me, I'm a member of a couple different subscriptions, and so it's just really easy to put it on my credit card and then just let it just not really pay attention to it, and you get your products there. So it's really a convenient way for your customers to get what they already love that you're doing. And so for me, what I do differently is I would actually create maybe 4 to 5 pieces and gauge the interest and say that this is what I'm planning to do, is the subscription box that I want to generate, and have a subscription box kind of already created.
So you're saying people could come in at any any phase, and then you have like almost like a flow of pieces that they get in the same order, or that there is multiple pieces that they could select from?
I mean, that's the beauty of subscription boxes is you can do anything with the little download that I created. I mean, it's basically 8 subscription box ideas for jewelry designers. So you could, basically what I'm doing right now is we have in how we break up our collections is we have our statement piece, our upsell piece, and our, what's the middle one?
Gateway. I
Gateway
like
piece.
it. You're learning from Flourish and Thrive. I love it.
Oh, yes. And so for me, it's right now my box is basically targeted towards my statement pieces.
Okay.
And that's the area that I'm utilizing is these people who are buying into them. They're getting the statement piece box, and that's why we're going to be increasing our value, our value for that box. And eventually down the road, I'll add in a subscription box, possibly at the gateway level and then possibly at the upsell level, so that, you could do it. And those are 3 different ideas in which you can shoot a subscription box towards. So say, for instance, you have upsell items who just easy sales. Why not put those into a subscription box by releasing a new design every month? I've seen different people where they'll create maybe 10 pieces and say, okay, guys, we only have 10 boxes that are going out this month. Be the first to grab it. And it just creates some anticipation, scarcity for your audience. And, I found it's really effective.
So your subscribers, real quick, can they pick what they want in their box? Like you have limited number of items, or is it that they just get whatever it is that you make?
Right now, what we have going is my statement pieces. For you as the designer, you basically get to create how you want to create your subscription box. So I wanted to say, if you love me as a designer, then you trust me to create some amazing pieces, and you're just going to love everything that I create. And so they basically said, for these early adopters, they're saying, I love you, I love your pieces, and I'm just going to trust that you're going to deliver amazingness. And so they're surprised in a way, and they I polled my audience and they like it. They actually love not seeing what they're getting until they open their box. So I'm just giving them little glimpses of,
it's like a surprise.
Yeah, it's like a surprise box for them. But you can structure it in another way where you can pre-select some items and then have them choose what they want in their box for the next month. So there's just many ways that you can do it. So that download is actually a nice way to see how you may be able to structure your subscription box.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Are there any other lessons or anything else that you learned that you want to share?
So packaging. Packaging makes the experience. And so right now we just recently, I'm still finalizing my design, but there's this company called Pack Lane, and I'm creating a subscription box through them for just a bunch of boxes. And so what you want to do is basically, how can you take your brand and pack it into a little box?
Ooh, I love it.
How can you add that
your
flavor,
brand and
your personality?
Yeah.
Everything about who you are as a business, and put it into that little box. And that's the beauty of it. And so for me right now, as a lesson, I would have done this at an earlier stage, but again, I'm learning along as I go along, and I'm trying to experiment with just really having my audience being involved along the creation process every step of the way, so it becomes more exciting and they feel like they're a part of this creation of this idea.
I love it. So take your brand and pack it into a little box to get people excited about it. Okay, Michael, so you've been talking about this download. Tell us a little bit more about some of the things that jewelry designers should be thinking about. I know that you kind of dialed this down to about the 8 step checklist or something like that. So tell us a little bit more about that and what those 8 things are. Yeah,
no problem, Tracy. So if you are a jewelry designer out there and you feel like a subscription is something that you could possibly utilize in your business, which I think it is, I created this little download, which is the jewelry subscription box idea guide. And it's basically 8 ideas on how jewelry designers can add a subscription box to their businesses. So number 1, I'm just going to run through these quickly, but you're going to get a glimpse of how you can utilize a subscription box to create recurring revenue, which is something that almost every jewelry designer would love to have a part of their business.
And so every business owner wants recurring revenue.
That's true. Every business owner. So number one, create a box featuring your statement pieces only. So you can say that, your statement pieces are of high value, right? They're the high end of your collection. And so creating a box just around those statement pieces only, meaning it's exclusive, it's at a higher price point, there's limited quantity. Those essential features are what will, make that box wanted by your customers. And so, of course, at this level, you won't be selling maybe a ton of boxes at first, but just serving those clients who really love your statement pieces, that's what this box will do. So you can think of boxes as having their own little purpose towards your audience. Number two is create a box featuring your gateway pieces only. So there's a mid price point. There's maybe you're doing limited. Maybe these are exclusive designs. You're thinking about how you can deliver this gateway piece, for a certain price point. Number three idea is create a box featuring your upsell pieces only. And so this will be a low price point, maybe a new design. It just makes it an easy purchase. It's even an add-on item. You can think of it in your website. So, possibly something that meets your desired client's needs with just that easy studs or posts or rings or bracelets, however you want to separate that out. Number four is create a box for the release of packaged pieces. So this is where you think of, okay, I'm going to create a box and I'm going to be the curator and I'm going to put together a ring, a pendant, and a bracelet. And I'm going to, charge this price that you get value from it, and you don't have to pay the entire price point. You get a reduction in price because you're buying them all together. And then I have
a bundle.
Yes, a bundle. A bundle. Yes. So that can be an idea for a box. Number five, create an earring, ring, pendant, or bracelet of the month club as a box. That's been really popular that I've seen as well. Number six is create a surprise box of a piece that you choose as the designer. Completely surprises for your desired clients who love surprises. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Number seven is create a box where the customer chooses the pieces from a curated selection. So this is something that you pretty much lay out on a page on your website, and then you have your customers pick out what they want every month. So that's another idea.
Cool.
Number eight is create a DIY box where the customer gets to assemble the piece themselves and you just provide the supplies. So that can be an idea of maybe whether your desired client, may want to experiment with, what it is that you do, and, try it out for themselves. So there's my eight ideas.
Love it.
Which would make you be able to do a subscription box for your business for sure.
Amazing. Michael, these are so fun. I love it. We had a designer in our mastermind a couple of years ago that had like a make your own mala that you could totally do a subscription box for stuff like that. Super, super cool. So we'll have this checklist over on the show notes of this episode. So we're really excited to feature this. So Michael, where can everyone find you?
At our website is also a good place, gourdjewels.com. And we actually have our strongest social media platform, which is Facebook, and Gourd Jewels. You'll find all our contests there, our updated content, and switching forth between Instagram and Facebook. But those two handles, you can find us easily right there.
Amazing. And we'll have all those over at the show notes too. Michael, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much, Tracy. I appreciate it, and have a great one.
You too. Thank you so much for listening to the episode today. Wasn't that awesome? I think so. Anyway, hope you'll join us for Flourish and Thrive Live 2018. If you're interested in learning more about the live event, I will be there with many of our SOS students. I'm hoping Michael can make it too. He just had a new baby, so we'll see, but hopefully he'll be there too. But you won't regret it if you make this investment in yourself, and make this investment in making the connections that are going to get your business from where you are now to where you want to be, because that is what it's all about. These little simple steps that we take, these connections that we make, the opportunities that we put ourselves in front of, the rooms that we get in, the connections that we make, as I've said over and over again, are really important. So if you're interested in learning more, tickets are selling fast. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/FTA Live 2018 and grab your seat right away. Come hang out with your jewelry business besties. It's going to be awesome. Thanks again for listening today. If you like this podcast and you enjoy listening to this every single week, I'd love for you to share it with your friends. I'd love for you to also subscribe to the podcast, because that means you're going to automatically get this podcast downloaded into your iTunes or Stitcher account. Super important. So check it out. Subscribe to the podcast. We're excited to be here in your earbuds every single week. Thanks for listening. Take care till next time. This is Tracy Matthews signing off. Did I really just wave? I just waved to sign off. That's awesome. All right. See you next time, guys.